Welcome back to the Daily Trading Journal. What a day we had. Much more therapeutic day, much less stressful day, and I'm going to get into why. Especially that over the last 2 weeks, I've lost about $500 in my account, and specifically yesterday, $60. But what I did to start to mitigate that and create more consistency in my trading, we'll get into that in right a minute. But first and foremost, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a certified financial advisor or certified financial planner. I recommend you do all your own research, figure out your plans, your setups, and how you want to trade. Don't follow trades, mine or anybody else's, well, especially mine since I'm losing money quite a bit right now as I'm learning. But this is simply the musings of my journal as I'm learning how to day trade. So with the disclaimer out of the way, let's get into the Daily Trading Journal. Okay. So today was a great day because for the first time, I put together 3 specific rules. Put together position sizing that I'm going to do consistently on every single trade, which you might think, Ben, what are you talking about? Of course you should do that. It's ridiculous that you weren't doing that, but I'll talk about why. A max loss for the day and the goal for the game, okay? Now, what I was doing before is I was trading with one share for about 3 months, right? And I would trade based on percentages. Then what happened was I went and I started to add size. And when I added size, I would just kind of like generalize the size I was putting on, right? So for instance, I would put 100 shares on a stock that was $3 or $5, or I'd even put 100 shares on a stock that was $13 and not realizing how much position size I was going from $0 up to $1,300 for position size. Now, it might seem ridiculous, but I'd been so focused on percentages, I didn't think it would be an issue. I didn't think it would throw off my trading. However, what would happen was if I had a big loser on a trade that I was in $13 a share at 100 shares, that could be a $30, $40, $50, $60 loss, even if I cut my losses quickly. Then what I would do is I would go and maybe throw 100 shares on a $5 or $6 stock. I could make just as much percentage as I lost because I was used to trading percentages, but that would not make up for the loss. So I started having really bad red days, and then it would emotionally take over. I would start, in essence, rage trading myself into a hole. And so yesterday when I had another loss of $60 and I started to realize that the position sizing was not fair for itself. In and of itself, it was not a fair situation. I talked to my buddy and I said, okay, this is the problem I'm having. I do really well when I trade with no size, when I trade with one share and I trade just based on percentages. However, when I add any sort of size, I don't have any rules in place yet. And he said, okay, well then you got to make some rules, right? I'd been developing rules just simply for percentage trading. So then from there, what I decided to do last night is set up very specific, simple rules. Max loss, goal for the day, and position size. So $10 is my max position size, and basically what I do on each trade. So we're getting some perk up again on RNAS. $1 is my goal. I want to try and make $1 for the day. So that means $10 at 10%, $1. And then my max loss is 50 cents. So I have a 2-to-1 ratio, right? I want to risk 50 cents to make $1. Okay, so that really worked out well. And here's the reason why. At my worst today, I had drawn down to 93 cents. One of the stocks I entered had a really good position. It had a hard pullback and then kind of pulled back up. And then I sold it at break even because it actually was starting to break down. So, but I took my account from a negative of 93 cents on the day to a positive of $1.44, with my best trade being on RNAZ, which is actually now looks like it's starting to break down a little bit. So RNAZ, I traded from about 80-something cents right here at this breakout, and I traded all the dips all the way up until this most recent rip up of $1.12. So I played it from, I think it was $1.06 or $1.07 was my entry, and I took that final bit of profit to put me at $1.40 something, I think $1.46 for the day. So I actually did 46 cents over my goal for the day. And here's the plan from now on. The plan from now on is to trade at this level for a number of weeks to make these dollars every day. Or, cut my losses at 50 cents and to trade the dips, to trade the patterns, to not trade based on emotion and to trade consistent position size, right? So by trading consistent position size at smaller trade values, it helps me to develop the aptitude of increasing that size. Now, from there, if I can do consistent trading of $1 per day, basically that puts me at about a goal of $4 a week, and I can see $4 a week for a number of weeks, then we'll increase to $20. And from there, the goal will be $2 per day and a dollar loss, or maybe a 75-cent loss if I'm performing well. And then slowly just increase that over the next couple of months. I have to absolutely be so dogmatic about not 10xing any sort of position size. I want to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 till I get to $100 per trade. And the craziest thing about taking that long to get to $100 per trade is that I was throwing like $800, $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,300 per trade when I went from one share size, which is like $1 to cents per trade, and then I was going all the way up. And that's why I drew my account down about $500 over the past 3 to 4 weeks. Is I wasn't managing or understanding position size at all, and I was just throwing thousands of shares at trades. And then what would happen was the winners were not making up for the losers. It was an overwhelming experience to lose, but a very obvious reason why. And now that I have a plan in place, and again, I had a plan in place for my one share trades, which is why when I would go back and I would start trading one share per trade, I would do really well from a percentage standpoint because I was making good trades. However, the big losers of a $1,300 position, a $500 position that made just as much percentage back was still keeping me in the red. And I know this is so obvious in hindsight. I know this is so obvious probably to you who's been trading or who just, does simple math. But for me, I was so focused on the percentage gains that I didn't realize how poorly these position sizings were affecting me. Sorry, I'm kind of just watching RNAZ right now. It's been a lot of fun. It's been like doing really nice pullbacks. So it's been like rip up, pull back, rip up, pull back. So I'm wondering if it breaks this, it'll make another rip up again. We'll see if it breaks that. See what we got, 12 shares on. So, yep, there it goes. Is it going to make the rip? Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. We have volumes coming in. Maybe. There we go. Let's see if it'll test the high. Oh, hold on. Had a little resistance there. Interesting. But I think it's going to work through that. Let's see. If it can pull through that too, we should be good. Because that's, I don't know. I'm out for the day. I made my $1.44, so I'm not going to give back any profit, especially that was down 93. So basically, all things considered, it was a very, very good day. And I really focused on making good trades, not just throwing money around. So, man, super happy. I want to consistently do this because the emotional heaviness of those losing days was just, I'm realizing it was just unnecessary. It was just bad understanding of what my position sizing was doing, even though I actually could have been either break even or a few dollars up on each of those days. So super happy about things for this next step in the journey. Curious and want to continue to follow, definitely subscribe, comment below, and let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you guys here on the next Trading Journal.